Hi, I'm Dave, and welcome to the You Need to Know video series. Let me begin by sharing a vision that you'll likely relate to if you're a new cancer patient or a caregiver. Take a moment and cast your mind back to when you were told that you had cancer. There you were probably just a few weeks ago. Your life was moving along at a normal pace. Everything seemed to be fine, and suddenly you heard the words, "You had cancer." So how did you feel? Were you in shock? Were you confused? I bet you were feeling a little alone and probably scared. And there was sort of this emotion that you didn't quite know what to do with, and you didn't really know what was going to happen in the next stage of your life. This is not uncommon. In fact, I can relate to this very well because, like you, I took a journey with cancer. And as you can see here on the screen, there were a lot of complications, a lot of procedures and moments of discomfort. This cancer that I had came certainly right out of the blue, was without warning, and it definitely changed my life. But now as a survivor, I've learned something that may be of value to you, and I'd like to share it. In fact, when I was in the early stages of my journey, in fact, all through my journey, there were lots of things that I wish I had understood, and I wish there was someone that had come along and shared a few words of wisdom to me. Perhaps in the next few minutes, I'll be able to give you a few tips and a piece of advice that might prepare you for the journey and make yours a little less difficult to travel. As I was saying, I can certainly remember when my cancer diagnosis was confirmed. And I really was in shock. I really had no experience in my life to compare it to. And there was a lot of frustration, a lot of fear, in fact, a lot of anger. I'd be classified probably as a pretty difficult patient. And I think that was because I was very confused as to what I was facing next. And I wasn't getting the answers that I wanted. Sure, I had a great medical team, and I brought along my son as a primary caregiver to all the meetings so that I could hear and better understand what was being said. But although they were talking a lot of the medical jargon, there wasn't really any discussion about how I was feeling, what to do with the emotions that I was feeling, the confusion, the fear, the anxiety. You know, I guess I was looking at this as something beyond a broken leg, something that was more complicated, something that you just couldn't fix and heal immediately. In fact, the word cancer brought up those life and death moment in my head where I was very concerned about what the next stage would be like, and it seemed to be something that was going to be very complicated. The problem I guess I was facing is that nobody really outlined that I was on a journey. It was really a medical procedure. I was sick. Someone was there to fix it. Trust in them and everything would be okay. In fact, though, looking back and having talked to a lot of patients over the last while, I've really come to understand is that it isn't just a set of medical procedures. There really is a journey that cancer puts you on. And it has a number of different phases, and each of those phases are going to ask you to get a little philosophical. You're going to really sit back and take a look at who you are and why are you here. And those are good questions because they all help you get on track to survive and help in your healing process. And each of the phases have a lot of these big questions that you're going to ask. Certainly in phase one, where the diagnosis is given, it's a real big shock. You're going to ask yourself, what is really happening to me? And what has caused this cancer? Is there something that I did? Is there something I shouldn't have done? Am I being punished for something? Thank goodness that fear and anxiety disappears as you move into stage 2 or phase 2, the treatment process, but that becomes also quite complex as here you start to begin to lose your self-identity. You become unsure of yourself because you're giving control of your life over to the medical team. Now, in my case, it was my way or the highway. If it was going to be, it was up to me. I had my life and I was in control of it, and suddenly I had to learn how to give that up, how to give that control up to the professionals that were around me. And that took a number of months, particularly as the treatments had an exhausting, tiring effect on me. The chemo brain that arrived as a result of the chemotherapy often left me fuzzy and unfocused, and the discomfort from all the treatment procedures just really made me feel anxious and wanting everything to end. It became really unbearable, and I was starting to ask myself constantly, how am I going to survive? Where am I going to get the strength in order to keep things, keep me moving along this journey? A big surprise came when the recovery phase finally arrived, and because there, where I had expected that treatment would end and recovery would begin, for some reason I felt that I wasn't ever going to get well again. The exhaustion of all the interventions to save my life were still surrounding me, and I felt that cancer had to still be within me. It couldn't be that easily excised, and I probably would never be well again. I would be probably always ill or always fearful of getting ill. And so the emotions continued in very much of a roller coaster, where some days everything would be going well and other days things were really unbearable, and I wasn't able to cope very easily with this journey that I was on. And once again, the big question for me was, how am I going to cope with this, what seemed to be an endless ride? Now, phase 4 did eventually come, and that surprised me and everyone around me, because everyone had assumed that after the medical processes was over, I would now just go back into being a normal person, be the Dave that I was before the treatment. In fact, that wasn't the case at all. Because of all the questions that I had asked myself, I had really lost who I was and what I was going to do. And there was a confusion of, what do I do to pick up my life and move forward? I didn't really feel that I was the same person that I had been in the past. It wasn't just a matter of picking up and carrying on to where I had left off. My confidence was gone, and I really had to find a way to become stronger and wiser and regain the belief that I would be able to scale some mountains once again in my life. But I knew that I was a different person, and I knew that there was going to be a different path ahead for me, but I was totally confused as to what that path was going to be. Now, certainly not every patient is going to go through what I've just shared. It's, but it is clear that as I've talked to different patients, they all have said they've gone through those phases in their treatment process. And during that, the big questions of life came to them. The emotional roller coaster was certainly there. And they all, thank goodness, found strength to carry on. It was simply a matter of understanding that everything would be okay, that you would find the strength within yourself and be able to carry on in that journey and redefine yourself and move forward. And I think it's a question of recognizing that cancer had taken charge of my life. There's no doubt about it. But then I had to learn how to emotionally take charge of cancer. All those aspects of life that had been affected now had to be reevaluated and reassembled in some fashion. And I'm going to spend some time in the future on some videos that try to explain, what do you do with each of these elements, what I call life Lego blocks, and how do you snap them together as you reevaluate them in order to be a new person, be the person that you want to become, and to be pleased with the results. The nice thing, and again, I wish I had been told early, is that this process of reevaluating, redefining, and coming back into what is a new normal for you is called PTG, post-traumatic growth. your cancer challenge does change you in some radical but positive ways, and you will discover that you will find a new journey on how to find your new normal. And that's what's really an important thing to understand in these moments that I'm sharing with you today, is that that surprise, that emotional roller coaster will pass as you reevaluate who you are and what you're going to do with the life that now is ahead of you. You went through that phase of questioning where you're going to live or die. All of these aspects of your life suddenly get changed. You snap them back together again, and then you move forward in a very positive manner. So, I mean, what I'm really saying is that if you have some knowledge to give you a heads up on terms of what the journey is like, and you get the personal support from your family and your friends, not just from the medical team, and together with the knowledge and the support, you uncover some of the answers to the big questions of who you are, what you're meant to be, what your purpose in life is meant to be, and where you're going. You'll find some solutions of how to take charge of the emotional roller coaster ride and move on in a very positive fashion. Now, to move you through this journey, I think you need a number of things. First, you really need some personal support. Now, I found a great service in mylifeline.org. The URL's here on the screen, and it's below the video that you're watching in the description area. And if you actually go there and set up a free account, you may, like me, find that this was it is a very indispensable service. What they offer is something similar to a blog, in that it allows you to talk to your friends, to your family, to your support group, and share with them the ups and downs of your journey. And they will in turn, pass along some words of comfort that help you in the healing process. In fact, the whole sharing of this story and getting feedback from this support group really helped me, and I bet it will be a really positive thing for you to experience. The other aspect of their service is that they have a calendar function that allows you to comfortably ask for help when you think that you need it. There'll be a time where you'll need a visit to the doctor, you'll need some help in getting some groceries, you might want some help with your laundry or the dishes, and by posting your needs here in the calendar, your friends and family can jump back in and put their name beside, I will help you, and help you get through whatever it is that you're asking for help for. I think mylifeline.org is absolutely amazing, and I certainly advise you to quickly set up your account so that you can interact with your family and friends in a very positive way. I also think that you might have some questions that you may get answers from people outside of your personal support area. There are lots of bulletin boards, lots of forums where people who have survived cancer or are going through the various aspects of the cancer treatment gather. Those forums and bulletin boards are particularly useful. And what I've done is tried to create our own community for the Find Your New Normal audience. And again, if you go to findyournewnormal.com/group-support, again, the URL below the video, there you're going to find a community that does answer questions. I post lots of very interesting articles and inspirational graphics and videos that will be helpful to you. And certainly by participating in that group, and I guess I should say, it's because I'm going to do a number of these videos, you'll be able to interact with the community around the topics that I'm sharing. This will be our personal community beyond what you'll get from all the forums and help sites that are available out on the internet. The key is that you'll need to have personal support and group support. The combination of the two really does help you with the learning curve that you're going to go through on your journey. Because it is a journey, and it's not just a medical treatment that has a quick fix. It often goes on for many months, and certainly in my case, nearly 2 years. You'll may want to stay in touch with all the new information that I provide to the solutions and obstacles that you face. So I would suggest that you subscribe to my email notification list and learn when the next video is coming up. And that's simple to do. Just go to findyournewnormal.com/directory and fill in the short email form. There you'll be able to be on my mailing list and get announcements when I post the videos and bring in our monthly group webinars. You may also have questions that you'd like to ask directly of me, because as you can probably tell in this video, I like to research, I like to get information, and I like to share it. So if you have questions, just go to findyournewnormal.com/askdave, and I'll answer the questions that you post, and I may design a new video that's just particularly meaningful to the content that you're searching for. So please, do these things. Be proactive. Please participate in our community and get the tips and advice as I post them here on the Find Your New Normal site, and join in our monthly online webinars, which are live opportunities to talk about the emotional roller coaster journey of cancer. And you can, if you have a microphone or webcam, turn it on, interact. I'll be interviewing patients and caregivers and professionals, so there'll be lots of good information in our monthly sessions, as well as the videos that I produce each month. So there's an opportunity for you to participate, is I guess what I'm saying. So really, what is it that I'm saying, and what am I trying to share in this particular video? I understand that you've been placed reluctantly on this journey. It's not a place that you want to be, but it is a place that you find yourself. It's confusing, it's emotional, and although you're getting lots of medical treatment, you'll find that you're on this emotional roller coaster. And these ups and downs are sometimes unbearable, and that's when you need to reach out to your family and friends in a way that's comfortable to them. And I've learned that through the School of Hard Knocks. I in the early stages, abused my caregivers. I used them as the leaning post for me, and I should have been gentler in the way that I did it. And I'd like to share some of the techniques of how to ask for help and how to interact with those caregivers who love you so much and want to help you the best way that they can. And so please let them also know about these videos that I'm producing, so that they understand what you're going through. Often it's hard for us to tell them what we're going through, and perhaps I can be your spokesman and let them hear from me what it is that the journey looks like, and then that can prod the interaction and questions that you and they can interact with, so that your healing process moves along. The other thing I want you to understand in today's video is, don't be surprised when you discover that you're not going to return back to the person that you used to be. That old person has been moved along into your past. You're a new person now with a new awareness of life. You've just come through or are battling right now a life and death situation. And when you come through, as I did, your life is going to be redefined, and you're going to have to create a new normal of how you live. As you define that path of normalcy, you need to continually gain information and receive support and discover solutions as you move forward. So if you watch the videos and participate in my monthly online video discussions and join in my community, I'll be there to help you, as will all the other people that I'm assembling around the Find Your New Normal audience. So there you go. There's a few points that I wanted to make. I hope this video shared something of value to you, and I really do thank you for spending the time with me. So join in, participate, understand what this journey looks like, and until we meet again, take really good care of yourself. Talk to you soon.